Good morning. I'm out in the field again with Sally, taking her for her morning walk. And I thought for today's vlog I would address that question of how do you pitch your presentation at the right level. It's a really tricky problem, isn't it? If we go too high level, then we risk that people don't understand us. If we go at too lower level, then we risk that we switch people off, or even worse, that they feel patronised. But here's something else that we maybe need to think about as well, and that is, how do we motivate people to take action? Because if we pitch our presentation at that level, then we're going to get the results that we want to get. And here's the thing. I reckon when you listen to most business presentations, people very often dive straight into the detail. And you either haven't tuned into the point about what they're talking about, or you get overwhelmed with all of that detail. And the chances are that you're not going to remember all of that, which reduces the chance of you taking action on it. So today's vlog is looking at how to motivate people to listen first before you go into any detail. And I'm going to do a couple of vlogs on this to follow this one through as a process. So this is today's tip. When you're pitching your presentation, pitch it first at motivation to action, and you do that by spending some time in your presentation looking at the reason why people need to listen, giving them an experience and giving them pictures in their heads, not necessarily on PowerPoint, and giving them a feeling that they have to listen to this, that what you say is so compelling that they want to listen to more. That way, when you get to the detail, if you get to the detail, then they're in a really good state to be able to absorb that, understand it, process it, and afterwards to action it. So what do I mean by that exactly? Well, if I was giving a presentation on presentation skills, which I do frequently, I could start my presentation by good morning and whatever, and then delve right into the detail. Here are all the techniques to present with. And quite clearly, first of all, I wouldn't know where to start, there are so many. But also that's slightly overwhelming. So I don't. I pitch it at the level as to why being able to speak confidently is so important. When I pitch it at that level, then people really tune into what I have to say. And in fact, I do it in such a way that people feel compelled to listen to more. It's what I perhaps call the why. Deal with the why first. And the shorter your presentation, the more time you spend on the why. Now that sounds really weird, doesn't it? In fact, it almost sounds counterintuitive. Surely, if you've only got a short amount of time to speak to people, then you've got to get into the detail. But actually, no. Because the presentation is all about you, that interaction and that connection with you and your audience. You can give them the detail in other ways. But actually, if you give them the detail and don't have that motivation, then it doesn't matter anyway. So, here's your challenge. Think about the next time you're going to present and pitch it at that level of motivation to action. Why is it that they should listen to what you have to say? And if your presentation is 1 minute, it should be all about the why. And then make that call to action, which is to come and find out more. If your presentation is 10 minutes, it should be nearly all about the why, with just a little hint of some of that overview of what the detail of what you're going to talk about. And if you've got a presentation that lasts an hour and a half, the first bit should pretty much be all about the why. So I guess you get the general picture here. Now, in another blog, I'll talk to you about what happens when you've done the why, what follows after that. I hope you found that useful. And I'm going in now, it's a little bit chilly.